to go here in the contest, and it's about as even as you can get, even though it looked like the Huskies really outplayed Villanova. On the scoreboard, it is even, and it doesn't matter what happened in the first half. It matters what happens in these final 20 minutes. Last year, the Huskies had a double overtime game at the Fieldhouse. One game, a game that they were winning by 3, or they were losing by 3.5. They came back. They were winning most of the game in the second half, but they just could not pull away from the team. The Villanova Wildcats, they defeated the Huskies 3 times last year. Huskies will have it on the inbounds from the far sideline, right around midcourt, with the unjump ball rule, and they take it in, and coming with the ball is Carl Hobbs. So Huskies going left to right as we see it. Villanova right to left. Courtney Thompson top of the three-point circle. Right side to Michael McKay. Man-to-man defense employed by the Wildcats of Villanova. And the Huskies trying to do something on the offense. This is Carl Hobbs dribbling down the left sideline. Now going towards the middle, but being pushed away, not physically, but by his presence by number 10, Stuart Granger. This is Mike McKay, left side over to Carl Hobbs. Hobbs being guarded by Granger. Hobbs looking left, now looking right, now dribbling the ball right around midcourt and looking to set up something. 4 Huskies along the foul line. Now Hobbs going right sideline. The Huskies with a little bit of movement. Thompson top of the key. Left side to Norman Bailey. Bailey faking. Now driving towards the middle. A whistle. And we're going to have a travel violation on Bailey. We played 41 seconds here in the second half. Huskies had the ball the whole way, but a turnover makes it Villanova's ball. 33-33. Not much closer than you could get than that. Stuart Granger walking the ball across the timeline. Pass the right side over to Happy Dobbs. Out on top to Granger. Left side to Aaron Howard. Howard being guarded by Carl Hobbs, but only for a minute as Hobbs goes back to Stuart Granger. Now Aaron Howard has the ball stolen by Norman Bailey. His third, it's Bailey on the basket. He gets fouled by Aaron Howard as he goes up. Bailey was looking to see where Howard was. Finally found him, but by that time Howard had hit him in the arm. And the first foul in the half for Villanova.
Harold, Villanova has out-rebounded Connecticut 11-4. UConn's got to watch out, and they've got to crash the boards. And also, as you mentioned, Courtney Thompson has got to shoot a little bit more. He's 1 for 3, and the fans want a shooting foul here, although Bailey was stopped and fouled before he even shot.
Carl Hobbs with the ball right around the 28-foot mark. 18:55 to go. No score since the halftime mark. It's still 33 apiece. Hobbs with the ball on the left of the side of the foul circle. Now top of the key to Norman Bailey. Bailey looking down low. No one's open. Left side back to Hobbs. Hobbs now dribbling the ball, looking for the bounce pass. Gets it out to Alex Innes. Back to Hobbs. He's on the far sideline. Hobbs lobs it into Thompson. Back out to Hobbs. Jumper from 20 around the rim. Rebound comes down to the hands of Happy Dobbs. Dobbs with the outlet. Gets it over to Granger. Granger with a 4-on-3 break. Now everyone comes back down the court. Right side back to Dobbs in the baseline. Back out to Granger. Granger fakes. Dribbles. Pass to Dobbs from the baseline. Jumper, and he cans it. Happy Dobbs.
First 2 points of the second half, and it took almost 2 minutes to get him.
Dobbs with his 10th point of the evening. 35-33. Villanova on top by 2. And Connecticut on the offense. Hobbs dribbles through his legs. Pass over to Mike McKay. Back to Hobbs, right sideline. The side is cleared away for Hobbs, but he does not want to go one-on-one with Stuart Granger. And he comes back out to around midcourt. Hobbs now going to the left side, now looking down low, can't find anybody. Thompson top of the key, right side to Bailey. Bailey down low to Alex Innes, he fakes left, goes right, hook, it's no good. Rebound tapped around. Alex Innes was fouled, no call. The ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Connecticut. And Villanova will come up with it. Villanova doing a great job down low of shutting out Thompson and Alex Innes. 17:44 to go here in the second half. Stuart Granger dribbling with his left hand, now standing about 30 feet from the basket. Huskies in a 2-3 zone. Granger bounce pass left side to Howard. Back out to Granger, right side to Happy Dobbs. Dobbs, a one bouncer down to the corner to Aaron Howard. Back out to Dobbs, left side to Granger. Granger from the foul circle, throws up, no good. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Thompson by Alex Innes. Rebound, Pinkney puts it up, and it's in, and he's fouled. The rebound was pulled down by Thompson, but Alex Innes did not see who it was, knocked the ball away. And Pinkney came up with it, put it up and in. Villanova's 4th point of the half and a timeout on the court. So with 17 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in the game, it's Villanova 37, Connecticut 33. Ed Pinkney will be on the foul line right after this.
Back here at the Hartford Civic Center, I'm Jeff Dobek along with Harold Darak. Our engineer back in the studio is Pete Cavalier. Both the squads of cheerleaders putting on a performance at half court. There's a lot of them out there, Harold.
There's a chain of cheerleaders coming down, one UConn, one Villanova, all the way down the line, showing the teamwork between the two Big East schools. Getting a nice round of applause from the 9 to 11,000 here at the Civic Center. 37-33, Villanova coming out with stingy defense and some good offense down low. Pinkney on the line trying to convert the three-point play. He was fouled by, I believe, Chuck Alexinis.
It could have been Corny Thompson, but one or the other. I'm not sure who that foul was called on, but anyways, we'll have the attempted three-point play for Pinckney, who had a three-point play in the first half.
And the mascot for Connecticut, the UConn Huskies, has a little sign that says the Wildcat is a bump.
Well, they had a little fist fight, it seemed, and the Villanova Wildcat didn't know that you're supposed to pull the punches. And the Husky did not quite like that in the first half, and he called him a bum, as the Villanova cheerleaders almost jumped the Husky too. I noticed that in the corner of my eye in the first half, and the fans didn't like it at all either, so the Huskies kind of going on strike.
Well, Pinckney, 6'9" and a half of them right at the foul line. Few substitutions, I believe, checking into the game, or at least the horn sounded. Bruce Kaczynski checked in for the Huskies. The shot up, and it's off the rim. No good. Rebound, Alexinis, so no three-point play. Huskies still down by 4. And they are on the offensive attack. This is Hobbs dribbling across half court, right around the center of the court, as Villanova still in the man-to-man defense. Hobbs looking left, now looking right. He's still dribbling around as the crowd starting to clap and stomp, trying to get the Husky offense moving. But Bailey lobs one into Alexinis. Turn around from 5. It's off the rim. Rebounded Pinckney. Pinckney pulls the board down, quickly outlets it to Granger, who's right around the 28-foot mark, and he flies across half court. Granger now the right side, looking in the corner for Dobbs. Doesn't want to pass to him. Now he does. So Dobbs wide open for a minute. Not anymore. Back out to Granger. Back to Dobbs. Dobbs in the corner looking low. Back out high to Granger. Granger cross-court pass over to Pinckney. Long jumper around the rim. No rebound. Rebound now fall in the hands of Pinckney. Tapped up again. Rebound by Kaczynski. But the Huskies allowed one offensive board by Pinckney as everyone was clogged in the middle. And finally, they pull down the rebound. Bruce Kaczynski has it. The Huskies back on the offense. They're going to have to put the ball in. They have not scored in 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the second half. Hobbs out to Bailey. Left side to Thompson. Thompson looking down low. Hands it off to Hobbs. In the corner to Kaczynski. Back out to Hobbs. Top of the key to Bailey. Back to Hobbs. Left side of the circle. Cross court to Thompson. Thompson down low to Kaczynski. Jumper from 10. Around the rim and it falls. Kaczynski hitting his first 2 points of the game. His first 2 points of the half for the Huskies. And it's Villanova 37. Connecticut 35. This is Stuart Granger coming across half court. Granger going now towards the left side. Gets the ball into the corner to Aaron Howard. Now back out to Granger on top. Right side to Pinckney. Pinckney cross court to Howard. He's open from 10. Now Thompson open the jumper off the rim. No good. Rebound fought for. And Kaczynski rips it out of the Villanova player's hands. Kaczynski quickly up to Hobbs. Hobbs bringing the offensive down. Now slowing things up. Getting over to Thompson left side. Thompson being guarded by Pinckney. Back out to Hobbs. And Hobbs will set up a play. 15:28 to go in the game. Hobbs lobs on the right side to Thompson. Jump from 20, but he's going to be called for traveling before he took the shot. Thompson kind of slipped on the play and was called for traveling. He does not agree with it, but Villanova 37, Connecticut 35, and the Wildcats have the ball.
Only 6 points scored in this half, and we've played over 4.5 minutes. Both teams a little tentative and missing shots, and Connecticut doing a little bit better job on the rebounding, though. Kaczynski ripped that last one away from Happy Dobbs.
Granger over to Howard in the corner to Dobbs. Dobbs holding the ball high above his head, lobs it cross court to Granger. Granger trying to get it down low to Howard, has it stripped by Thompson. Thompson gets it over to Hobbs, almost stolen back, but it's knocked out of bounds by Pinckney. And Raleigh Massimino yelling at the referee. He thought Hobbs had the last bit of a hand on it. Huskies trying to inbound it over Pinckney. Lob goes into Carl Hobbs. No other pressure put on. Man-to-man defense. All the defense being picking up the offense around half court. Hobbs calling out the signals. He has the sweatband right around his arm. Left side to Thompson. Thompson looking up top. Gets it over to Norman Bailey. Bailey looking right side. Can't find anyone open. Now Bailey making a spin move. Gets in the right side to Hobbs. Top of the key to Thompson. Thompson looking over Pinckney. Right side back to Hobbs. He's open from 20. Shoots and he hits. Carl Hobbs, point number 4 on the night. And the game's back tied up 37-37. Stuart Granger controlling the ball for the Wildcats. Right sideline. Top of the key to Howard. The crowd starting to get things moving up. Right side to Granger again. Jumper from 20 and he's around the rim. Rebound Alexinis. Alexinis pulled down the board. Gets it over to Hobbs. The Huskies are running. Hobbs past Granger. Left side to Kaczynski. Jumper from 15. Around. No good. Rebound Alexinis. Bang! Off the boards. Alexinis with the offensive rebound. Connecticut 39. Villanova 37. Stuart Granger across half court. The crowd loving every minute of it. Right side to Dobbs. Dobbs looking to shoot. Back to Granger. Left side to Howard. Howard now drives toward the baseline. Bounce pass on top to Granger. The crowd still going mad. Almost a steal by Hobbs. Right corner to Dobbs. Dobbs drives. Top of the key to Pannone. Jumper. Bang! But wait a minute. A travel violation. before the shot. And Villanova will not get that basket.
Nice defensive work by the Huskies, forcing that traveling call. And they're going to slow it down here. Hobbs is going to be a little bit patient. But the crowd, the cheerleaders, and the Husky mascot are all on their feet here in Hartford. They love it.
The crowd going crazy. Hobbs dribbling between his legs, going to the right side, stops his dribble into Alex Innes, jump from the foul line, bang! Huskies 41, Villanova 37, 14 points from the big man from Morris, Connecticut. Stuart Granger with the ball for Villanova. Right side, gets it over to Dobbs. Back to Granger, looks to shoot. Now he doesn't. Back in the corner to Dobbs again. The Huskies playing good D on the big man. Granger left side to Howard. Howard along the baseline. Back on top to Granger. He dribbles once, looking down low. Back to Howard. Left side, back to Granger. And Granger almost getting called for a carry. But no call. Granger dribbling around the 28-foot mark right side. And he's calling out some offense. Huskies fall to a 2-3 zone. Stuart Granger still dribbling that ball. Top of the key to Dobbs around the three-point circle. One bouncer left side to Howard. Howard back out to Dobbs. Right side to Granger. He drives down the lane. And Hobbs is on a whistle and a violation. A carry on Stuart Granger. And there's going to be a timeout on the court. Listen to that crowd rumble. 12 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the game. Connecticut 41 and Villanova 37. Harold Darak back with Jeff Dobek, our statistician Robin Tarby, and our technical director back in the studio, Pete Cavalier. Thank you very much, Pete, for filling in on short notice. You're going to be hearing a lot of Pete here in this new semester, the new year of 1982, with hockey broadcasts on the Sound Alternative. So make sure you tune in for those. The UConn Husky hockey team will be coming back in the action as soon as the school session resumes from the break. Connecticut 41, Villanova 37, and the momentum shifting toward the Husky side as they've gotten a few key shots and they're holding off on their turnovers. Meanwhile, Villanova, few too many turnovers, and that's how come Connecticut has come back.
Villanova scored the first 4 points in this half, but Connecticut since then has scored the next 8. It was 33-33 at halftime, and now only a dozen points scored here in 7 minutes and 19 seconds, and 8 of them by Connecticut as they have the 4-point lead back.
Only 2 fouls, one team foul on each side, and only the 4th for Villanova. Huskies have 8, but the referees are letting the 2 teams play, and what an exciting game it is.
And for timeouts, a lot of timeouts called, but we are having a televised game. Connecticut still has 4 timeouts and Villanova 3 for later in the stretch run.
Courtney Thompson inbounds the ball to Carl Hobbs. The man-to-man defense is going out. It's going to be a full court defense. Hobbs being guarded by Granger. He crosses the timeline, goes toward the middle. Now Hobbs on the left side looking for Thompson. Right side gets it over to Bailey. Bailey right side of the circle looking down low. Now he dribbles the ball. Dobbs is all over him. Pass back over to Carl Hobbs. Carl Hobbs, the point guard, playing his finest game of the season versus Georgetown, playing most of the game tonight. Pass goes down low to Alex Innes from Bailey. Back up Bailey. He drives, shoots, no good. Rebound Dobbs with a whistle and a foul. And let's see if they're going to call it on.
Looks like it's on Bruce Kaczynski, Harold, pushing off underneath, getting the rebounding position. And it certainly is going to be on Bruce, his 3rd. And Mike McKay, I believe, is on the bench with 4, Harold. He was the one who picked up that foul, and he had 3 at halftime. So if our statistics are right, and they are unofficial, McKay has 4. We're not sure about that, though.
Villanova controlling the ball. Mike Moklin with the ball for the Wildcats. He just checked into the game. Pass goes out to Granger. Granger looking for Pinckney. Can't get it to him. Now Pinckney pops out to the 3-point mark, and he has the ball. Pinckney left side over to Granger. Huskies in the 2-3. Back to Pinckney. Right side to Moklin. Moklin dribbles once. Back on top to Granger. Granger from the top of the key. Right side to Moklin. Back out to Granger around the perimeter to Pinckney, who drives, shoots, a whistle, and a foul on the big guy from Morris, Connecticut. Vern Giscombe not seeing that much playing time since Carl Hobbs has been on this streak. Hobbs played, I believe, 36 minutes. Vern played only 4, and so far Vern has given Hobbs a breather in this game, and that's about all we've seen from him.
Well, when you have something good going, you might as well stick with it, and Don Perno has made the right decision, and he's doing that. Pinckney's going to go to the line to try and cut this lead down.
Pinckney will be shooting 2. I did not see, the foul was on Alex Innes. Did not see what number it was for him. Pinckney's first one is good. He's shooting 67% from the free throw line, 70% from the floor. Can't get much better than that. His second one is also good for Mr. Pinckney. 11 points on the night. Huskies controlling the ball. They're on top by 2, 41-39. Norman Bailey gets it in from Thompson. Pass goes back to Hobbs, and the Husky offense clears away for the magician with the ball, Carl Hobbs. Hobbs crosses half court, goes toward the left, gets it to Thompson. Thompson has only taken 3 shots this whole ball game. Pass goes back out to Carl Hobbs. Hobbs looking right, gets it over to Bailey. Bailey looking top of the key, bounce pass over to Thompson. Thompson being guarded by Pinckney, right side to Bailey. Bailey loses it momentarily. Thompson comes up with it. When he gives it back to Hobbs to set things up for the Connecticut offense. Carl Hobbs yelling out instructions, dribbling with his left hand, going toward the far sideline. Gets it over to Bailey. A whistle on the play, away from the ball. A foul, I believe, on Ed Pinckney. Let's see what they're going to call.
It is on Pinckney, Harold.
That's his first.
Team fouls, Connecticut 3, Villanova 2, so we're not going to be shooting in the bonus just yet.
Huskies inbounded. Hobbs bounce pass off to Norman Bailey goes awry. And a bad play by the Huskies, and Villanova will have a chance to tie this game up. Connecticut 41, Villanova 39, 11:05 remaining here in the game, or at least in regulation. Dobbs in the right corner gets it over to Granger. Back to Dobbs in that same corner. Back out to Granger, left side to Moquin. From the left side of the circle, shoots, no good. Rebound comes to the hands of Pannone. The first time we've seen him touch the ball in the second half. This is Granger from long range, no good. Rebound comes to the hands of Bailey, a whistle, and a foul is going to be called, I believe, on the big man, John Pannone. Pannone, the big man for Villanova, but he has done almost absolutely nothing here in the second half. This has not scored, I believe, and he has not done much from the defensive end.
And that's only his first foul, so he won't be sitting down just yet. Connecticut going without Mike McKay, who's got 4 fouls, we believe, on the bench. And who's going to be taking the shots? No one seems to be deciding who is going to shoot. It's got to be Thompson. He hasn't done much on offense all night.
Alex Sinnis with the ball 30 feet from the basket. A cross-court pass to Kaczynski, who is just as far away. Now goes over to Bailey. Down low to Alex Sinnis, stripped away by Pinckney. And he hands it over to Granger, and again, Villanova will have a chance to tie this ball game up. Pannone, left side, he dribbles from the lane. Jumper, no good. Rebound, Alex Sinnis. Tipped away, a whistle. And they're going to give him the 2 points as Alex Sinnis goaltended as he tried to get that rebound. Now we're still hanging on the rim. I was waiting to see if they were going to call that.
He also, I believe, struck the backboard with his hand when the ball was up and near the cylinder, and that is the goaltending violation there on Chuck Alex Sinnis. 10:20 to go. It's a tie game again.
For Pannone, his first 2 points of the half, 14 for the game. He's leading all Villanova scorers. Game tied at 41. And the Huskies controlling the ball. This is Carl Hobbs calling a motion offense for Connecticut. Top of the key goes over to Alex Sinnis, right side to Bailey. Bailey about 25 feet from the basket, down low to Thompson. He makes his move, throws a shot up, but is fouled. And again, it'll be the freshman Pinckney. Pinckney picking up his second foul, the team's third, I believe. Make that 4th. And Thompson will go to the line to shoot 2. And for Corney on the season, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, shooting better from the foul line than he has earlier. 62%, 69% in Big East competition.
Aaron Howard into the lineup, replacing Ed Pinckney for the Wildcats. Aaron Howard, the senior, back in.
Howard playing 12 minutes in the first half, scoring 4 points. Has yet to score in the second half, and Thompson cans the first one. 4 points for Corney Thompson. That's going to be it could be his lowest output of the season, unless things turn around very quickly for him. He has not shot that much. He's not been given the opportunity. Thompson's second one, up and no good. Rebound down low by Moquin. Huskies up by 1, 42-41. Less than 10 to go in the game. Dobbs in the right corner. Bounce pass out to Granger. Granger looking left side. Now back in the corner to Dobbs on the right side. Dobbs passing the ball back and forth with Granger. Now Granger moves left side over to Moquin. Moquin left side of the circle. Back to Granger. Now in the corner to Moquin. Moquin trying to drive. Back out to Granger. Right side to Howard. On top to Granger again. In the corner. This is the left corner to Dobbs. Back out to Granger. Huskies 2-3 zone is playing compact and tight. And they're making Villanova pass around the perimeter. Can't get it open to John Pannone in the middle. This is Dobbs, left side, right on the 3-point mark. Back on top, right side now over to Howard. Howard about 25 feet from the basket. Back on top to Granger. Granger, right side to Howard. Howard dribbles once, now looking down low. Back out to Granger. Granger now dribbles twice. Left side to Hobbs. Hobbs around the baseline. Gets it over to Moquin. Back on top to Granger. Granger fake shoots. Left side Dobbs in the corner to Moquin. Back out to Granger. Jumping from 15. Bang! A lot of movement for Villanova, and it paid off as Granger picked up his 4th point of the night. Villanova 43, Connecticut 42. And Connecticut on the offense. This is Carl Hobbs. Hobbs top of the key to Kaczynski. Back to Hobbs on the right side of the circle. Hobbs over to Alcinus, back to Hobbs. Hobbs dribbles between his legs, now trying to drive on Granger. Fakes to shoot, back to Thompson, over to Hobbs. He's open from 20. Won't take the shot. Alcinus will take it from the foul line. It's short, rebounded by Happy Dobbs. Dobbs gets it over to Granger. Left side over to Molkman. Molkman coming back the other way. Gets it over to number 10, Stuart Granger. And Stuart Granger will play with the basketball, dribbling around the perimeter. Granger now fakes to shoot, right side to Dobbs. Dobbs now fakes shooting, back to Granger, left side to Howard. They're a very patient team. They'll wait for the best shot. Now Pannone, cross-court pass goes over Dobbs' head, and he tries to save it. It's stolen by Hobbs. Hobbs bounce pass to Bailey, lays it up and in, and the Huskies get 2 points off the turnover by John Pannone. Pannone's bad pass forced Happy Dobbs to make that turnover. I guess the Dobbs will be credited with the turnover. 8 points for Norman Bailey, and the Huskies on top 44-43. Happy Dobbs, right side, top of the key to Stuart Granger. Left side over to Aaron Howard. Howard drives, shoots, no. Passes off to Dobbs. Dobbs shoots and he hits. Howard faked it up and ended up passing it over to Frank Dobbs. And for Dobbs, he hits his 12th point. We have some substitutions into the game.
And a timeout will be called. First, Frank Dobbs shooting 53% from the field in the Big East, and he's hitting well tonight. 7:45 to go in the second half. Villanova leads at 45-44. We'll be back with more Husky basketball action right after this. Back here at the Hartford Civic Center, Veterans Memorial Coliseum, I'm Jeff Dobek along with Harold Darak. 45-44, Villanova Wildcats leading the UCONN Huskies here. Villanova, after this game, will go down to the District of Columbia, take on the Georgetown Hoyas Monday night at the Capitol Center. And these two games are their first real tests on the road. They defeated Seton Hall by a point on the road. And a road game against Boston College was a victory for the Wildcats, but that game was played at the Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands. So Villanova's been at home a lot, and now they're going to play the next 3 Big East games against Connecticut tonight, and then the next 2 against Georgetown.
They just came off a road game with Notre Dame at South Bend, and a very, well, not as good as a Notre Dame team in the past. They just got away with a 2-point victory. So they haven't been playing the best basketball on the road. 2-point victory over Notre Dame, a 1-point victory over Seton Hall. And right now versus the Huskies, they have a 1-point lead. But then again, those good teams win the close games. And here's Carl Hobbs trying to say that the Huskies are the better of the team. Pass the left side to Vern Jiscom, who's just checked in the game for Thompson. Jiscom, top of the key to Hobbs. Whistle away from the ball, and I believe we're going to have a foul called on Kaczynski.
Kaczynski was a little too obvious there and pushing around with Pannone, and he'll pick up the foul. Huskies have the small lineup in there with Bailey, Hobbs, and Jiscom, as well as Kaczynski and Alex Sinnis. 4 fouls on Kaczynski, so the Huskies running into some foul trouble.
Kaczynski with 4, Mike McKay with 4, the team with 4. So out of the 11 fouls, 8 are on 2 big men. And this is a press breaker. Pass goes over to Aaron Howard. Howard top of the key to Stuart Granger. Granger controlling the ball, right side over to Dobbs. Back on top to Granger from the top of the circle. Long bomb, and he connects. Stuart Granger hits for his 6th point. When Villanova on top by 3, their biggest margin of the night, with 7:07 to go in the game. Carl Hobbs dribbles across half court, looking on the right side, looking towards the middle. Left side pass goes to Vern Jiscom. Jiscom bounce pass down low to Alcinus. He dribbles once, turnaround jumper. He's fouled, and the ball won't fall in. So John Pannone picks up that foul.
Pannone was playing strong defense on Alex Sinison, got a hand on the ball and almost went in anyways. And now the Huskies realize they've got to get some offense in there. And here comes Corey Thompson and Mike McKay. Coming out will be Bruce Kaczynski and Vern Jiscom. So the original starting 5 will be back in. That'll be Alex Sinnis, Thompson, and McKay across the front line, and Bailey and Hobbs in the backcourt.
I believe for John Pannone, that was his 3rd foul. We do not have official note of that. And Alex Sinnis on the line, he shoots 73%. And by the reaction of the crowd, you can tell he hit the first one. Villanova 47, Connecticut 45. Alex Sinnis with 15 points. He's the leading scorer for Connecticut. And he hits the second one, 47-46. Husky starting lineup in Villanova trying to up their lead back to 3 points. This is Happy Dobbs dribbling the ball. Huskies play a full-court man-to-man zone. On Dobbs is Norman Bailey. Make that full-court man-to-man press. Ball goes over to Pinckney. Pinckney hands it over to Stuart Granger. And Granger controlling the offense as he has done so well this season in this game for Villanova. Granger left side looking to shoot over Bailey. Now right side to Dobbs as the Huskies fall to a 2-3. Now Granger wide open jumper around the rim. Rebound Thompson as the ball won't fall. Thompson a fast break over to Bailey. Knocked away by Granger. Loose on the ground. Goes out of bounds and it's controlled. All they're saying is Villanova, and it looked like it was kicked off the foot of Stuart Granger. And the crowd can't believe it, and I can't really believe that also. That referee should have had the right angle.
We had two officials on the sideline there, and the one closest to the play did not see it. He was blocked, and the farther one back called it in favor of Villanova, and that might be a big break for them. It didn't look like it was their ball.
Ball knocked away by Thompson. It goes the Huskies' way. It was knocked off the hands of Pinckney, and that same referee rolled it the other way, and I'm not sure. It did look like Villanova might have had that last touch on this one also. Maybe he was making up for the last bad call that he did have. Carl Hobbs controlling it for the Huskies. Left side over to Norman Bailey. Bailey being guarded by Dobbs. Pass goes to McKay. Back over to Hobbs. And Hobbs over to Norman Bailey. Bailey top of the circle. Gets it over to the right side of the circle to Hobbs. Over now to Mike McKay. Top of the circle. Left side to Bailey. They're playing with the ball around the perimeter. This is Thompson. Drives. Spins. Does not shoot. Looked like he was going to shoot. And the ball goes over to Hobbs again. Hobbs, a lobber, left side to Alex Innes. He fakes once, jumper off the rim. Tapped around, controlled by Thompson. Bailey, nice tap. Shot, no good, and a foul on the play. That play was made by Norman Bailey as he tapped it away from a Villanova player. And Corey Thompson came up with it, took the shot and missed it. And Ed Pinckney comes away with his third personal foul. The sixth for the team. Villanova only had 3 personal fouls in the first half, 6 here in the second half. And Thompson will go to the free throw line. So far, he is 2 for 3 this evening. Thompson shooting 69% in Big East action. Takes a few dribbles, looks at the basket, shoots, and hits. Oh, a nice swish. 5 points from the senior from Middletown, Connecticut. And the score is tied at 47 apiece. Thompson trying to concentrate. Looks, shoots, and scores. It bounced off the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and went in. 48-47. Huskies on top by 1 point with 5:44 to go in this contest. It's coming down to the nitty-gritty time. And Villanova's controlling the ball. Stuart Granger bounce past the right side to Happy Dobbs. Huskies playing a loose 2-3 zone. Villanova calling out the play. They're passing around the perimeter. They're trying to get it down low to somebody, either Pinckney or John Pannone. Both starting lambs are in for both teams. Happy Dobbs now top of the key to Granger. Granger tries to drive right side to Dobbs. Dobbs looking cross court, trying to find Howard. Gets it back to Pinckney. Pinckney left side to Howard again. Howard driving for a minute. Bounce pass to Pannone along the baseline. Pannone back on top to Granger. Left side to Howard. Howard trying to drive again. Can't find any light. And the ball comes out to Granger. Granger back to Howard. Howard dribbling. No place to go. Back out to Granger. 5:01 to go. And now here's Howard, a long jumper, short, rebounded, controlled by Thompson. It was 4-4 between Bailey and Pannone. They let go of it, and Corney was there, and he'll get credit for the rebound. 4:48 to go, Connecticut controlling the ball. Huskies on top by 1. McKay for 25, passes to Thompson, lobber into Alex Innes, but it goes over his head. Alex Innes had a hand on it, but could not control, and Villanova will get the ball in the turnover.
Aaron Howard took a bad shot there from the baseline, longer than his range is, but Thompson had the good defense on him to force that bad jumper, and Corney came up with the rebound, but now down on the other side of the court, he turned it back over.
Villanova trying to take the lead one more time. They're down by 1, 48-47. Happy Dobbs in the left corner, over to Granger, open from 20. He shoots front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Hobbs, the smallest man on the court. Hobbs coming down, had a 2-on-4, wisely slowed up. And the Huskies spreading out the offense as it's gone man-to-man for Villanova. Beautiful spin move by Granger. Drive to Alex Innes from the baseline. Jumper no good. Rebound McKay. He's in the lane. A whistle and a foul called on, let's see who. It looks like against Villanova, and Aaron Howard will pick up that foul.
And Villanova at the limit, so we'll have a 1-and-1 from now on. I'm not sure if they're going to call that one a shooting foul. McKay, he grabbed the rebound. I couldn't tell when the whistle was, and they are going to call it a common foul. We'll have the 1-and-1. McKay on the season is shooting 73%, although 60 in the Big East, 60% in the Big East, which is the last 5 games for Connecticut. So Michael started out really hot, and he's come down a little bit.
Villanova shoots 56% from the floor, 71% from the free throw line. McKay hits his first. The Huskies, meanwhile, shooting 52% from the floor. That's their best in quite a few years. But only 66% from the free throw line. So Villanova has the slight edge in both categories.
But the Huskies were shooting about 55% from the free throw line a few weeks ago, so they haven't improved in that category.
And McKay hits both. Huskies on top by 3 with 4:07 to go, and they're still pressing full court. Stuart Granger gets the ball in. Hobbs playing off him quite a bit. They're looking to trap him. Pass goes over midcourt line. Ed Pinckney. Pinckney back to Granger. And a timeout on the court. Listen to this crowd. 10,000 deep. With 4 minutes to go here in the game, the score Connecticut 50, Villanova 47. We'll be back right after this 30-second timeout. This is Georgetown. This is a team that's really turned things around. They played really well in the Connecticut Mutual Classic, then kind of started to slump. But they're coming on now for some of these Big East games. Let's see if they can hold things off. This is Granger, left side to Howard, back over to Granger. Granger top of the circle, right side to Dobbs. Huskies going to the 2-3 zone, and they're piling up on Pannone. This is Granger, left side. He had a shot. Now it goes into Pinckney. Pinckney throws it up off the back of the board and puts it in. So the ball falls 50-49. Huskies on top by 1 as Pinckney comes up with his 13th point. Pinckney was left kind of open when the Huskies were collapsing on Pannone. And that's what enabled him to put that ball in. This is Mike McKay on the left side. Gets it on top to Chuck Alexander, who's about 30 feet from the basket. Pass goes over to Carl Hobbs. Hobbs left side bounce pass back door to McKay. Knocked back by Granger off his foot. And so Huskies will inbound the ball in front of press row on the 28-foot mark. Mike McKay inbounds. It gets it into Norman Bailey. Bailey hands it to Carl Hobbs. 3:18 to go. And Don Perno calling out play number 14. So let's see what that's going to do. Carl Hobbs going one-on-one with Granger. Right side over to Mike McKay. McKay being isolated by Aaron Howard. And the pass goes on top to Hobbs one more time. Hobbs to Bailey, top of the circle. Bailey dribbles once. Pass over to Thompson is too far away from him. Not a very good turnover. And Villanova will have a chance to regain the lead with 2:59 to go. We should have added turnovers to that also. Who's going to have the least amount of turnovers in this last 4 minutes?
Villanova had 9 and Connecticut 6 in the first half, but it's been switched around here in the second, I would say.
Right side, Happy Dobbs controlling the ball. Dobbs over to Granger. Granger fakes, drives, passes down low to Howard. Howard along the baseline, shoots over Thompson. No good. Rebound knocked out, and it's controlled by, let's see who is still on the ground loose. There's a fight, a big tussle for it, and Pinckney comes away with it. One-on-one with Alexis. He shoots, and it's blocked by Chuck, but he fouled him in the process. A lot of action, a lot of people on the ground. But the ball came to the hands of Pinckney and went one-on-one with Alex Sinnes, and Chuck fouled him. And I believe we're going to have a timeout on the court. So 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining. And he's on the line right now shooting his biggest foul shots of the year. His first one is in. Game tied at 50. UConn 50, Villanova 50, 2:34 to go in the game. The second shot also in, and Villanova's regained the lead 51-50. Huskies facing a full court press. Carl Hobbs gets it in, and the only man not guarding man-to-man is Stuart Granger, so Hobbs walks across the half-court line. Huskies being played by man-to-man defense for Villanova. Bailey down low to Thompson. Thompson out top to Hobbs. Hobbs looking back for Corny. Corny on the night only has 6 points. Carl Hobbs controlling the ball for the Huskies. Hobbs being guarded by Granger, dribbling around the three-point line. Over to Alex Sinnes, back to Hobbs. 2:09 to go. I don't believe the Huskies are going to wait for a last shot, but they're going to wait for a very good shot. This is Hobbs. Hobbs calling out some sort of play. The Huskies trying to make some motion to offense. Hobbs going far sideline. Now pass out top to Bailey. Bailey bounce pass down low to Thompson. Thompson fakes up once. Back to Bailey. Bailey dribbles once. Now looking down low. Bounce pass goes to Thompson. It's now loose on the ground. Thompson picks it up. Shoots. No good. Rebound. Rebounded ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Howard. And so the Huskies have a second chance.
That ball just bounced down the baseline there. Villanova almost had it as the Huskies being a little bit over-anxious and trying to force it into Corny Thompson there. McKay had the better play from the corner.
McKay, bounce pass gets it into Carl Hobbs. Hobbs calls a timeout as he was trapped. And a nice play by Carl. 3 timeouts left for UConn, 2 for Villanova. Okay, Huskies going to inbound the ball right in front of their bench. They're down by 1 with 1:43 to go, and Carl Hobbs gets the ball from Corny Thompson. Man-to-man defense still by the Villanova Wildcats as Hobbs going against Stuart Granger. Hobbs on the right side now. Pass on the left side goes over to Norman Bailey. Bailey slowing things up. The Huskies might be going for a last shot with 1:30 to go. Hobbs going on the left side. He's slowing things up. They're now looking to shoot. Now McKay with the ball top of the circle. Left side back to Hobbs. Hobbs looking in the middle. Gets out to Thompson. Top of the circle. Right side to Norman Bailey. Bailey fakes right. Top of the key to Alex Sinnes. He fakes up. Throws up a shot and is fouled in the process.
Ed Pinckney is going to pick up that one, and that might be number 4 if it is indeed on him. He's holding the arm up, and it is. So with 1:16 to go, Connecticut has the bonus. And let's straighten this out here. They had Pinckney's number, but they yelled Aaron Howard, and they claimed 5th foul no matter what. So let's wait for the official announcement on this, but looks like we've got a disqualification here for Villanova, and Alex Sinnes will be at the line.
Okay, I believe that's exactly what we're going to have. Ed Pinckney fouls out of this game with 1:16 to go.
Well, Aaron Howard is going to sit down at the bench, so evidently it was on him. Pinckney trying to cover up for his man by raising the arm, but it was obviously on Howard. Pinckney was just trying to keep his man in the game, and Mike Mulquin will come back in for the Wildcats.
So Howard finishes off with 4 points. Mulquin on the night so far does not have anything, but he's a very able sub filling in for the injured Alex Bradley most of last season and doing a fine job, pulling down about an average of 5 rebounds a game. This year he's averaging 4 points a game. Alex Sinnis, and here's the bread and butter coming down right now. 1:16 to go. He has 2 shots. First one is a swisher. For Chuck, the leading Husky scorer with 17 points. And the game is knotted again, this time at 51. Chuck looks, shoots, and misses. Rebound Pinode. 1:15 to go. Alex Sinnis misses the shot. And Villanova might be waiting for one last one. Controlling the ball, Stuart Granger as he crosses half court. Right side pass to Dobbs, back over to Granger. Huskies trying to tighten up that defense. Pinode has it, and he's going to call timeout. So with 1 minute and 1 second to go in this exciting broadcast of Big East basketball, the score Connecticut 51, Villanova 51. We'll be back right after this timeout. Bruce Kaczynski checking in for Chuck Alex Sinnis. Bruce has 4 fouls. And so it's going to be Granger, McLean, along with Pinode, Dobbs, and Pinckney for the Wildcats. Pinckney gets the ball in from Granger. 1 minute exactly to go in this game. It's tied at 51. Granger, left side over to Pinode. They look like they're going to pull it out for 4 corners. Pinode being guarded by Kaczynski. And in high school, Pinode and Kaczynski had a lot of confrontations. And from the reports we've heard, it was Kaczynski getting the better of the games. Right side, McLean looking to drive. Now he's being fouled up by 2 Huskies. Stolen by Bailey. Bailey coming down, crossing half court. Slowing things up, giving it to Thompson 35 seconds ago. Thompson to Hobbs and a timeout on the court. Bad play by Gary McLean. 32 seconds to go. The Huskies ball. The game tied at 51. We'll be back right after this timeout. First half, Villanova chipped away. In the second half, the Huskies' highest lead was 3. Villanova's highest lead was 3. It's been close throughout the contest. 51-51. Let's see who they're going to go to. Thompson looking inbound. Full court, man-to-man pressure on the far sideline. Pinckney all over Corney. Corney calls out a play, trying to get it in. He's going to call timeout because they can't get the ball in. So the last Husky timeout with 32 seconds to go for the Villanova Wildcats. So Gary McLean was quickly substituted for. Corney Thompson looking to inbound the ball. He's trying to get it in. He throws a high lobber to Alex Sinnis, who pulls it down, throws it over to Hobbs. 30 seconds to go in this game, and the Huskies control the ball. Mike McKay right side, top of the key to Bailey. Left side to Carl Hobbs. Hobbs top of the key to Mike McKay. Right side to Bailey. 20 seconds. Bounce pass goes over to Hobbs. He's guarded by Granger. Over to Bailey. Bailey looking down low. Bounce pass up high to McKay. Left side to Hobbs. They're playing around the perimeter. 12 seconds to go in this game. This is Carl Hobbs. 9 seconds. Hobbs looking at the right side. Calling for a motion. McKay in the corner. 5 long jumper. And it's around the rebound. Hobbs hit the rebound. And the Huskies win the game. The Huskies win the game. The Huskies win. Carl Hobbs picked up the rebound off Mike McKay's missed shot. And Connecticut wins 53-51. It's pandemonium here at the Civic Center. Carl Hobbs with a shot, the smallest man on the court. Played his second game in a row where he was the key man in winning. And the Connecticut Huskies upset the Villanova Wildcats 53-51. We'll be back with the exciting conclusion of this basketball game right after this 60-second timeout. Know exactly who it was. It might have been Stuart Granger, and he just tapped up that rebound and fell through, and the Huskies won the game by the score of 53-51.
It looked like they kind of were going to forget the shot. McKay took a bomber from about 20 feet, off balance, turnaround jumper from almost near that three-point line from the right side. And as it went off the rim, Hobbs was right there to put it in, and Connecticut has won, and they have beaten 2 teams that were ranked or have been ranked in top 20 polls. You might see the Huskies sliding in there at number 20 next week, as they have beaten both Georgetown and Villanova. Villanova drops to 6-1 in the Big East. Connecticut 4-2, 1.5 games behind the Wildcats, and Villanova must now go and face Georgetown at the Capitol Center on Monday night.
One thing that was bothering everybody was the weather, but if you were one of the 10,000 people that traveled to the Hartford Civic Center this evening, you were not disappointed. The Huskies winning on the last second jumper by Carl Hobbs by 2 points, 53-51. And let's go over the official scoring. Connecticut was led by Chuck Alexinis, who probably played one of his best games of the season. 17 points, 10 in the first half. Mike McKay had 12. Norman Bailey had 8. 6 for Corny Thompson. He did not take many shots. 6 for Carl Hobbs, the biggest 2 points in his career, and 2 each for Vern Giscombe and Bruce Kozinski. For Villanova, they were led by Ed Pinckney. He had 15 points. John Pannone had 14, only 2 in the second half. Frank Happy Dobbs with 12, 6 for Stuart Granger, and 4 for Aaron Howard. Only the starting team scored for Villanova. The Huskies were on a 3-game losing tear to Villanova. They finally beat them for the first time in a couple seasons. And the final score, as we said, was 53-51. It was one wild game and one wild broadcast. And as we did say, the Huskies moving up in the Big East now, 4-2. Villanova falling to 6-1.